With 2015 nearly over, it's a good time to look back at some of the notable security incidents of 2014 in the cold light of day and see what impact they've really had. First on the list is Heartbleed and Shell Shock. What's interesting about these vulnerabilities is that they are old, very old. Having existed in OpenSSL and Bash for many years, it's the equivalent of telling your granddad that he's had a dodgy heart since childhood, but now that he's 78, he should probably do something about it. That ship has sailed, and with it, the Heartbleed medication. The thing that's surprising about these is that they were both open source software, which in theory should have been more secure, as more eyeballs should have reviewed the code. The reality is though that people don't like to review other people's code any more than they enjoy inspecting other people's poo. Sure, you could get a few oddballs like Gillian McKeith, but we can't all go around pretending to be doctors or programmers, can we? However, the most significant thing about these vulnerabilities is that they got their own fancy names, websites, logos, the full shebang. Basically, a full-on marketing approach. It set the bar on how to disclose a vulnerability. I bet some researcher out there has found the next big vulnerability, but is sitting on it because first they need to come up with a cool sounding name and a graphics designer to make an eye-catching logo. I don't know why it's taking them so long. If 2014 has taught us anything, it's that you only have to put Marvels before the title and it will make hundreds of millions of dollars. Coming this summer, Robert Downey Jr. stars in Marvel's Shell Shock Vulnerability. Although Target and other retailers were victims of credit card breaches, the Home Depot breach is of particular interest because, according to inside sources, the security team actually raised issues with management to weaknesses in security, but they were ignored. The company execs reportedly responded to complaints and criticisms with the same sad refrain: "We sell hammers." Of course, it's worth pointing out that the Home Depot exec is allegedly insane, and he replies the same thing to every question. Shouldn't we fix these system vulnerabilities? We sell hammers. How's married life treating you, Brian? We sell hammers. Would you like a sandwich? We sell hammers. What exactly do you guys do at Home Depot? I am Groot. Now, it's easy to blame senior management for ignoring the sage advice of the security team. But really, what were the security team doing? They were probably communicating in techno terms that the business just didn't understand. Instead of saying something like, "We have misconfigured firewalls and a lack of adequate zoning exists in the PCI environment," maybe they would have gotten more traction by simply saying, "Give us money or you won't be able to sell hammers." Communication and understanding the business are vital skills. If the security team isn't helping the company sell hammers, then the question arises, what are they doing? So if you're hiring anyone who used to work at Home Depot this year and they put on their CV communication skills, they're lying. And I'll bet they don't know how to ride a horse either. A treasure trove of Hollywood celebrities' private photos were released on the website 4chan, or if you'd like to believe CNN, by the disgruntled sysadmin 4chan. Affectionately dubbed the Fappening, it gave ample opportunity for editors to cram witty headlines, yet oddly, none of those headlines included the phrase sex crime. Though of course celebrities aren't real people, so it seems you can look at their tits without guilt or consent. What's pretty interesting is whilst Apple confirmed that some celebrities' iCloud accounts were broken into, it said that it found no evidence that this was caused by a breach of its security systems. So it's really an extraordinary day at the office when hundreds and hundreds of personal images are stolen from your databases, and yet you can proudly and nonsensically proclaim that your system is working perfectly. If I were Jennifer Lawrence, my response would be, "I'm glad to hear the system's working for you, but the whole world's seen my boobs now, so it's not working that well for me." Did Apple learn nothing from Spider-Man?
With great power comes great responsibility.
I'm on a real Marvel kick today, aren't I? Still, that leads us to... That's right, top of the list, no surprise, is Sony, which is perhaps the single most polarizing incident within the security community in the last year. It started off with a battle to prove who the perpetrators were. Some pointed the fingers towards disgruntled insiders, but the US government finally stepped in and placed the blame on North Korea. Why? Because they allegedly didn't want the film The Interview released. In fairness though, many of the reviewers said the same thing. Yet, no fingers have been pointed towards them. The attack was described as being unprecedented and utilizing undetectable malware. Now that may be true, but 100 terabytes of data was extracted from Sony. You'd imagine someone would notice it.
He ain't a set of fucking car keys, is he? And it's not as if he's inconspicuous now, is it?
According to Reuters, Sony's CEO said that he does not expect the attacks in November to have a significant financial impact. This is despite the fact that previous hack in 2011, which exposed the account information of 77 million PlayStation Network and Curiosity users, reportedly cost the company 171.2 million in losses. This time, they've lost thousands of confidential intercompany emails, draft scripts for upcoming films and projects, and 3 then unreleased movies were leaked onto torrent sites. But no, this should not affect them financially at all. But hey, maybe 170 odd million is just spare change for Sony. Although if that is true, they should really strike that deal with Marvel over the Spider-Man rights. I want to see him in the next Avengers movie. Man, I should really go and watch some other films now.